Wild?
Yep.
Oh, yes. What is it? I'm excited. Hunting. Hunting, you know. There you go.
Hold on a second.
I don't have money. All right. I'm sorry. Quiet on the set, please. Huzzah! You guys, when I ask for quiet, I want it. Shut your mouth.
Whether hunting's good or bad?
Yes. Good.
Have you ever seen someone with a shirt or another piece of clothing that says Deer Slayer or #1 deer killer on it? Let's ask ourselves a question. What means the deer have possessed itself? How is someone slaying an animal with no way to defend itself? You might as well be stabbing a newborn baby. But if you're looking for martyrdom by taking something's life, you're looking in the wrong place, my friend. Where many people get a strong sense of heroism by raising the life of an innocent creature, that is the falsified illusion of an arrogant concept. While hunting gets this great award of heroics from carrying a gun, chewing tobacco, and dressing like a bush, our real heroes are educating us, protecting us, or standing up for what we believe in. Our country does not need any more violence than we already have, and nor does the world. Martyrdom is not achieved by killing innocent creatures. When someone kills an animal, especially for game, there is no good done to the world. Graham Harvey once said, "We humans have moved on to today's discard age. That simply means we have moved on from our previous savage ways and moved on to a new time of prosperity. There are just as many people that need to accept it. Nothing positive happens by robbing the life of an animal and then claiming to slay it. Dragons and fairy tales get slain. In case you don't know, dragons are large dinosaur-like creatures that breathe fire and kill people. And the best part is they don't exist. So comparing slaying a hell-bent creature to a rabbit or a squirrel is like comparing roasting a marshmallow to a Holocaust. No safety or life or anything of importance to sacrifice when you shoot an animal." Have you ever seen a movie or television show where there's a woman tied to the railroad tracks and the dastardly handle-bar-mustache villain and the muscular southern hero are fighting for the girl's life? That's a fictional or storybook version of heroism. Nevertheless, it's more than real competitive than one killing a living creature. Real heroes are people volunteering in soup kitchens or pulling a family from fire wreckage that they once called their home. I even consider our teachers heroes, for without them, our world would be just as ignorant as the concept of shooting animals for bragging rights. While describing the horrors of a fox hunt, the League Against Cruel Sport said, "During a fox hunt, a hunted fox will naturally run to the nearest hole familiar to it. However, they are likely to be blocked with materials such as sacks of rubble the night before the hunt." Does that sound very heroic to you? When you dress up like a tree and shoot things in the wood, you're not a hero. It's a falsified visual of perfection. This may be corny or cheesy, but heroics aren't measured by the size of your gun or how many points your freshly killed buck has. It's measured by what you're willing to do to make this world a better place to live in. I can't count the number of times I've seen my stepdad drag a dead deer down from the woods and rip its intestines out through its anal cavity. While this may be graphic, it's the absolute truth. Is this heroic and still we consider okay? I don't understand why this is all right with our society, but hey, in a place where you can't say Merry Christmas, what can you expect? I mean, humans killing animals is like Buddha killing Asian people. We are all living on the same planet. We need to learn how to get along without adding to the slaughter. A piece of advice from Graham Harvey is, hunting is about animals as well as people, and people are also animals. We need to amend our attitudes and practice towards other animals to become passionate and caring. If we took this advice, there would be a huge decrease in the hostile feeling around the world and a lot less bloodshed. On one occasion, my family went on a hunting trip and forced me to come along. During this trip, I witnessed my cousins and uncles murdering squirrels and pigeons. And when they brought him their so righteously won prizes, they simply threw the pitiful carcasses of the poor defenseless creatures into a fire and laughed about it. Is this an appropriate way to treat life, wildlife, slaughter, and laugh about it? I'm beginning to lose faith in humanity. There are many arguments against my end, such as, hunting isn't wrong to use the meat. I honestly want to know, who really uses the meat? I'm fairly certain that it sits in a freezer until it's completely rotted. So it's basically just a temporary excuse for an unarguable murder. This point is proved with quotes such as, unlike 10,000 years ago, today the vast majority of hunters do not need to hunt in order to survive. By Wanda Embar. This simply means, unless you're a backwoods hermit, you don't need to kill things in order to survive. Another argument might be, you have to kill off a part of the wildlife population so that it doesn't overpopulate. If we would have just left wildlife alone in the first place, nature would take its course and clean things up. I don't want hunting censored. I just want us to stop by our own choice. People may call me ignorant, backwards, or closed-minded for feeling too strongly about this particular subject, but I strongly believe hunting is wrong for any reason. You wouldn't take another human's life, would you? And if you would, that's a big problem. And you wouldn't take your pet's life either, so why destroy the beauty of life and nature? It's sad to see killing things through recreation, and you're not fighting something that can't protect itself. A big gun doesn't make someone a hero, and it's not sacrificial to shoot things. People need to take a look at the world around them and realize shooting things just for fun is not a way to satisfy anything. It's wrong to kill anything, and it's wrong for someone to claim that they're a hero for doing so.
Greatest.